Hi everyone, welcome to this video. So my name is Vanessa and I was recently gifted a camera for my birthday. I got a Sony ZV-1 and so far everything's been pretty great with it, but I have to admit that it can be pretty overwhelming to learn how to use a camera when you've never had one before. And I've never taken a photography course either, so I'm like the beginner of beginners. So with that being said, I hope that you're looking into this video if you need some help learning a little bit more about this item, which I'm gonna tell you guys about, which is the Compact Flash for Sony by Insignia. When I was looking into getting a flash for my camera, I realized that they can be pretty expensive, and this was one of the lower end ones, but it seemed pretty promising. I noticed that there weren't many videos or like reviews on this item that like really go in depth about it, unless obviously you look through like the written reviews. But as far as YouTube goes, there really weren't many videos. I think there were like 2 unboxings. So I decided to stay up late to hopefully be able to help save you some time if you already got it, so I can explain it to you and how it works. When you open the box, the flash will come in this pouch. This is what it looks like. And this is my hand, so for reference, that helps to get an idea of the size. And so basically here's your what they call an LCD, which is the screen, and then the control panel. And this basically tilts over to like a 90-degree angle. And then this item works only with cameras that have what they call a hot shoe mount, which looks like this. And so you unlock it, and then here is the stand that comes with it in case you don't want to plug it to your camera. And then you lock it on. And I gotta say, like, even before you lock it, it doesn't seem like it's gonna budge. So the flash comes with 3 modes. It comes with the TTL auto flash, it comes with a manual mode if you want like more control over the flash, and then it does come with a multi-mode. The TTL auto flash mode, basically the difference between that and like the other modes is that it works together with a camera to figure out like how much lighting you need. The bigger the negative number, the darker the flash gets, and then the more positive you go on this, the brighter it gets. So when you're in TTL mode, you have like 2 other options that you can choose on here. So the first one would be if you want a high speed sync. So basically, sorry if I'm looking over, it's because I have my notes here because I took notes. The high speed sync means flash is syncing with your camera shutter, but keep in mind that this means that the faster your shutter on your camera, the shorter the flash range. And also, you have to make sure to select it on your camera as well. In the manual, it says that they don't recommend using this too much though, because I think it can like wear out your flash like over time. The second feature is called the second curtain sync. Basically, if you have a low shutter speed, the flash will extend the light to follow whatever that, like the subject that you're taking a picture of. So the sync, it's not that hard to use because there's not that many buttons, but basically when you see that little square, you press sync, and that's the high speed sync. Let's say you feel more like a pro, you feel confident, and you want to have the manual mode. You click here and then M. When it says 1 out of 1, like that, that's the brightest that it'll go. That's like the full power. And then when you go the opposite way, it gets weaker, like the light gets softer. If you want to use the flash as a secondary flash on top of like if your camera already has one, it does have features for that. So the S1 is basically when the flash works at the same time as the main flash. And then in S2 mode, this flash will flash on the second flash of your camera. Have I said flash enough? The way that you get to that, so if you're trying to do S1 or S2, when you're on manual mode, you're gonna press the slave button and you'll see that it shows up in the corner, S1 or S2. When we enter the third mode, which is multi, so let's go back to mode So this is multi. Multi is like when it does like, you know? The multi mode is basically used like if you're taking a picture of something that's moving. I had a little bit of trouble figuring this out, and then I think I got it. You'll notice that this time there's more numbers on the screen where it says the number and then the minus. So like this first number, which is a 2 for you, this indicates like the number of flashes. The number before the HC, which would be the 10 in this case, is referring to how fast it'll flash. In the manual, it refers to this as frequency, but to be honest, that kind of confused me because I think of frequency as like times. Oh, also, if you want to be more perfect and professional, you can use a formula that they have in the manual to help you calculate what the shutter speed should be on your camera when you're using this mode. So the formula goes the number of flashes divided by the flash frequency. And then also keep in mind that the 1 out of 1, so like the full power mode, is not an option for this setting or for this mode. And the 1/2 isn't either. So don't be like alarmed if you don't see it on there. When you get closer to the end of the manual, they start like kind of explaining a couple techniques to use with the flash, which is like helpful because I wouldn't have known about that. There's what they call an auto focus assist beam, which helps your camera focus more easily. And then there's also what they call a bounce flash technique. This is when you point your flash at like a wall, like let's say a white wall or something nearby, so that it flashes, like it reflects the light onto the subject, and it basically just makes your photo look a little bit more like natural, I guess. Like the lighting doesn't look as harsh. Something cool about this, I think it's like kind of handy. I'm curious to play around with it, but the flash actually comes with a catch light, and it also comes with a wide panel is what they call it. So this is the wide panel. Let me show you right there. So it just like pulls out. And then this is the catch light, which is kind of meant to extend your flash. So again, reflect the light. But if you want to use the wide panel, that basically extends the coverage or like the flash by 14 millimeters, which is really specific. Another cool thing that would be useful to know is that your flash coverage can be matched to your focal length. But if you're in manual mode, you can press zoom and then change it to AU for automatics. There's like 3 other little details that you can customize in that same feature. ST stands for standby mode, which basically help you save your battery when you're not using the flash. And then the autofocus assist beam, which I told you about. And there's also the backlight control. It basically is like when it leaves the screen on like for 10 seconds. That's what the 10 stands for when you're there. So let me show you what I'm talking about. You're gonna press the zoom, but what's interesting is you don't just press it once because it's gonna think you're trying to control the actual zoom, like the millimeter zoom. You're gonna hold it. And then there's like the ST, which is the standby mode I told you guys about. And then there's the AF, and it's on. And then there's the backlight. So, and then you just press the same zoom button to exit out of it. Basically, I think those are all the like main points that I wanted to touch base on. But again, like I said, this flash does seem pretty powerful in my opinion. I guess it's considered a compact flash. I think it's pretty big, but at the same time, it's got a lot of cool features and it's not that hard to use.